Thank you for joining us today for our Prospects webinar. My name is Shireen,
And I'm Pamela.
and we're your product trainers here at Prospect Software. Today, we will look at a few simple ways to automate your real estate business by mastering some of our automation features within your Prospect CRM, giving you back some of that precious time. Prospect CRM is definitely a free member benefit that you can access at any time using your matrix, your board, or your association login information, and offers you, the real estate professional, a multitude of features and tools dedicated in helping you and your business thrive. In order to maximize the retention of the information, we really encourage you to settle comfortably in front of your screen already opened in your home page of your Prospect CRM so as to follow the training interactively. Are you ready, Pamela?
Yes, I am. Today, we're going to teach you how you can leverage some of your daily tasks by taking advantage of two more of our automated features: personalized text templates and action plans. One will help nurture your client relations and develop new lasting ones, while the other will keep your transactions organized so as to never forget a task or miss an important deadline again. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. These text templates and these action plans really are a game changer, because not only do they allow you to add that little bit of a personal touch to an automatic feature, you can ensure your to-do lists are always cleared off at the end of every day.
In a previous webinar, we were able to personalize your email signature with a few simple steps and clicks and include it in an automatic email campaign. If you need to go back to see that, it's our previous webinar called Automate Your Communications. Now, how can you take this tool to the next level and use it to its full potential? By personalizing your text templates, obviously. Whether you're setting up an appointment, a follow-up call with a client, prospecting, creating emails for all your needs, it can all be stressful and time consuming. So at Prospect CRM, we already got it covered for you. Take it away.
Here at Prospects, we offer you a collection of preset text templates covering all real estate needs, occasions, stages, really. You can use these templates as is or tweak them a bit. And if ever there's something you really want to create from scratch, something unique to you, you can also do that. You can create text templates for any topic, and then you can automate all those emails using those email campaigns we saw last time. For those of you who are following along interactively, as you guys can see, I have my prospects already on screen here, and I'm just going to go ahead and enter my left-hand side menu. This menu is where I'm able to go ahead and actually access those text templates. So by tapping on those three little lines at the top, I have the menu that expands, and then I can tap on text templates. From here, even if it's the first time you're accessing this screen, you'll be able to see all the templates that Prospects already offers you, right? That you can already use as is. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of them. Let's say here, very simple, it's a confirmation, it's a follow-up, rather, of a property showing that you would send to a buyer. It's a very simple email, but just the fact that it's already ready to go saves you so much time. Now, let's say you wanted to tweak this a little bit and add just a few more details. You cannot change a template that's there by default by Prospect, but we can always make it our own by duplicating it and personalizing it. So right here at the top of the template, in the upper left-hand side menu, we have that action button. We're going to tap on that and then select copy this template. As you can see, it duplicates it. And now this previous block of text, which was grayed out, can actually be edited. So here I'm going to do property showing, thank you, and I'm just going to add personalized. And then I can go ahead and change any information I want here. So instead of a letter greeting, I actually just want to add a contact first name. Once I'm happy with this template, I can go ahead and click Save and Close at the bottom in order to update it in my system. And as of right now, I can create an email campaign and select this template from the drop-down menu. Like I said, you can also create your own from scratch. Let's say you have a quarterly newsletter you set out and you'd really like to automate it just to free yourself up for more important tasks. All you need to do is within this text template screen, click that add button on the upper left-hand side. Here you get an empty template page, and then we can look through this step by step. First things first, we have the template name. This is for your eyes only. This allows you to organize this text template. Essentially, you're naming it what you want to identify it as. So if this was a follow-up after a visit to the notary, you would name it as such, just so you know you can always find it easily. Next to that, I have the category. This too is for you, just to allow you to better segment all your text templates. There is always options available in the drop-down list that are included by prospects by default. But if you wanted to create your own category, you could do so using that little crayon all the way on the right-hand side. You can add a category such as newsletters and then click save. This allows you to make sure you're always putting the right text template in the right group, so it's much easier for you to find it down the line. Then we get to language. This is really important. Like we mentioned in the last session, Prospect CRM is a bilingual software. In Canada, it is English and French, and then in the States, it's English and Spanish. All the text templates offered to you by default are already translated. When you edit a text template that exists by default, like we just did, it's up to you to make sure that translation is also edited as well. And when you're creating your own, you can go ahead and input the translation as you see fit. It's not obligated of you, but you have the option there. And that way the text template is sent out in the right language selected in the contact menu. Finally, we have the subject. This is what everyone sees. So when you're sending out that email campaign, this is the actual subject line of the email. So this is publicly available. Oops, publicly available. Just keep that in mind. You definitely want to make sure this is something that's eye-catching for your clients, not to mention professional and still, acceptable. Nothing, no shorthand, nothing like that. You really want to make it clear, concise, and something that will draw their attention to open your email. Then we get into the actual text. Here you can put whatever you want. You can also use dynamic fields, which are very important. Like you guys saw, I entered contact information before because I entered a contact's first name, and I can use any of these contact information fields to automatically generate information from the contact file. So if I'm putting hello contact first name and I'm emailing this to Shireen, her email will say hello Shireen. I can also add the information of a specific listing. I can also insert other fields such as today's date, my email signature, which we worked so hard to set up in session 2 of this 5-part series, so I might as well include it. And I can also insert a prospect's image. Now, we talked about this a little bit with that email signature, but also in the brand and share. When you add an image in Prospects, you can upload it in the customization menu of the configuration menu, and then you can insert it in your email. Why this is such a game changer is if you work with, let's say, a graphic designer who creates a newsletter for you in a beautiful image, right? Kind of like a flyer. You can upload the image in Prospects and include it in your text template. And what that does is instead of attaching the image to the email, it actually puts it in the body of the email. So you know the minute your clients click on that email campaign and open it up, they have this beautiful email from you, absolutely perfect the way it was meant to be seen. So it's a really great way to make sure it's eye-catching. It definitely separates you from the competition, and it takes advantage of all the different little tools you might be accessing at the same time. As always, once I'm happy with my changes, I just click Save and Close on the bottom right-hand corner, and any text template I create will now be available in that drop-down menu while I'm creating an email campaign.
Wow, I love those things. I love those features. But okay, so now we have access to the email templates. Coming up, correct me if I'm wrong, is how to leverage these features by creating action plans, right?
Yeah.
The action plan feature is your go to organization tool that keeps you on track. Essentially, it's a virtual to do list that completes its task on its own. And Pamela is going to show us how we do that. These can include a mix of reminders, activities, calendar appointments, as well as automated emails and those virtual cards we saw. Go ahead, Pam.
So like we saw with, the text templates, the virtual cards, we of course offer you a selection of action plans that are ready to use for every sales stage. You guys may know them also by their other name, drip campaigns. So we're going to go ahead and access them. Again, we're going to enter that left-hand side menu. So I'm going to tap those three little lines at the top, and I'm going to go into action plans. Like our text templates, you can use what's already available for you. You can duplicate it in order to make a few small changes, or you can start from scratch and completely build your own action plan. These action plans, just like Shireen mentioned, can be a combination of many different types of activities, events, appointments, emails, things that will be sometimes automatic and sometimes simply reminders in your dashboard and in your virtual assistant, as we saw in the previous sessions. So why these action plans are so amazing is that it's that perfect combination between a system handling communications on your behalf, freeing you up for more important things, but still giving you those reminders for follow-up calls or certain tasks that you should do yourself in order to maintain those amazing relationships you've developed with your clients. Let's take a look at the action plans that are included by prospects and how we can switch them up a bit. As you guys can see, I have quite a few here. I have action plans for the seller closing checklist, buyer closing checklist. I also have stuff like send a birthday card for 25 years, so you never have to worry about missing a client's birthday, or send a transaction anniversary card for 20 years. Another great way to stay top of mind with those clients. I also have this one, buyer prospecting 2-month high touch plan. This plan contains a bunch of different information. But let's say a 2-month plan is a little intense for you. Let's say you just wanted to do 1 month. You wanted to reduce some of the activities and only focus on certain things. What can we do? Really simply, we can tap on that action menu, just like we did with our text templates, and click copy this template. And instead of buyer 2-month high touch, I'm going to put buyer 1-month plan. Now what I can do is open up that new action plan I just created. And as you guys can see, it has all the activities of the previous action plan, but I can go in and maybe delete a few of them that aren't as relevant to me. Just because it's there, it does not mean you have to use it. It does not mean you're obligated to follow a guideline that we've set for you. The whole point is that you can kind of take this in hand and really make it your own. Another option, just like those text templates, is actually creating your own action plan. So as you guys can see, I have that add button here on the upper left-hand side. When I tap on that, it opens up an empty template for me to use. I can call this one, for example, past client follow-ups. So that every time I finish a transaction with someone, I can launch this action plan under their name, so I know that the follow-ups moving forward will in fact be handled. I can add any activity I want by clicking that green plus button in the upper left-hand corner, excuse me. And as you guys can see, I have a drop down of every different activity type you can imagine. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to create an activity, which will be a reminder for myself, and I'm going to name it create quarterly market report. Because something that's really important to me is with my past clients, I find a really great way to stay in touch with them is to create a market report they receive every 3 months, just so they can see what kind of ROI they're looking at, right? It's a new purchase for sure, but being able to keep an eye on the market is really beneficial to them. And I'm gonna set this reminder so that 0 days after the action plan starts. So the minute I launch it, I get that reminder so I can complete this task. After this is done, I can go ahead and click that plus button again to add another one. So this time, let's add an email campaign, right? And we'll see the automatic part of the action plans. I'm going to go ahead and use a referral text template for them. So I'm going to go under my prospecting past clients referral number 1, just to reach out to them, let them know about our referral program, thanking them again for trusting me with their transaction. I'm going to click next. And then here I can select when it takes place and if it's sent automatically. So I don't want to bombard my clients too soon after our transaction ended, right? We've been communicating a lot, obviously. I just set up that action plan, which they always get the next day. So I'm going to do this activity will take place 2 weeks after the reminder to start that market report. So I'm going to do 2 weeks after create quarterly market report. So I can choose exactly when this activity is sent. I can also choose an important date, such as birthday, transaction anniversary, any other important date I've saved in our contact file. As you guys saw in our first session, you can customize all those dates, right? And I also have on a specific date, such as Christmas. Let's say I was setting up Christmas cards, New Year's cards, and I wanted them to be sent on a specific date. I can do that too. Right underneath, the most important thing for us to check, send email automatically on the activity date. This ensures that 2 weeks after the other activity is done, they get this email automatically. And then I click add and close. And I can keep going and keep building this action plan. And it really works as a great template that I can launch for multiple different clients. Once I'm happy with any action plan I've created, I can launch them a few different ways. From the action plan directly, I have the option to click action, start this action plan. And as you guys can see here, I can go ahead and select the contact. I can also link a listing if I want to save it in the listing file as well, just like we saw with those email campaigns. And then I can click start this action plan on the bottom right-hand side. Another option, which is also just as fast, is from my contacts tab. So I'm just going to go ahead to my contacts right up here. I can launch an action plan for up to 5 contacts at a time. So I can go through this list. I can check off, let's say, 5 individuals, right? And then I can go action, start an action plan, and all my action plans pop up, right? So here I can go ahead and do, let's say, send birthday card, 25 years. And all I need to do is double check that all the information is there, all the contacts are there, and then I can click start this action plan in order to save those changes. And if ever I want to see what's up and coming, exactly like we did with those email campaigns and those virtual cards, I can actually open up any of those contact files that I just started the action plan for. I can go under the to do, and I will see every single activity there. It's a really great way for me to be able to handle everything at once and also just make sure that everything up and coming is as it should be, everything is properly scheduled and properly handled on my behalf. So even though it's something automatic, even though it's a feature that the CRM is handling on my behalf, it still has my personal touch, my brand, my image front and center, and it's characteristic of who I am and the service I can offer my clients.
Very impressive. So, the features we've covered today were managing your text templates and setting up the various action plans. And I'm convinced that once these features are in place in your prospect CRM, you will be given back some of that precious time and then you will definitely see some of the rewards. We know how valuable these features are to a real estate business, and we hope that you will take time to see it for yourself. We want to thank you all so much for taking the times out of your busy schedules to learn from us today, and we hope to have inspired you to jump in and use your Prospect CRM to its fullest.
Also, make sure that you guys check out all our other on-demand trainings, which are available from our website. Like Shireen and I both mentioned, this is the final part of a 5-part series, and there's even more goodies available to you on our Facebook page as well. So there's definitely something for everyone. Also, never shy away from reaching out to our technical support team. They are a fantastic group. They're always happy to hear from you, guide you, answer your questions, and take your valuable suggestions.
But before we go, we'd love to hear some of your feedback. You will be receiving a survey sheet shortly after you close this webinar. Please take a minute or two to fill it out. It betters us, so in turn, we can simply better you. And until next time, we wish you all the best of success from my entire prospects team. And remember that if you know you can do better,
Then do better.
take care.